Sidebar for a sec, it's Mother's Day season, which personally I celebrate all year round because moms deserve way more than just a day. And I wanted to take a minute today to thank all the moms out there for everything they do for us, especially my mom, because there is no me without you. Function Health just released a book called Long Live Moms as a reminder that moms need to take care of themselves too. I really loved this excerpt from the book, so I'm just going to read you a quick piece of it. Moms know sacrifice, love stitched tight. They toil, the grit, the sleepless nights. They hold the world yet stand unseen, the quiet force in between. The keepers of the scraped up knees, the magic hands that calm the seas. But wise are moms who pause, who see that caring starts with caring for me. A body strong, a breath drawn deep, a heart that beats, a soul to keep. The years move fast, yet love remains, a bond unbroken, thread through veins. So long live the ones who teach us how to love ourselves, to live well now. Long live the hearts, the wisdom, the care. Long live moms everywhere. If you are a mom or have a mother figure in your life, I'm sure this poem resonates. I feel like it's such a powerful reflection of the sacrifices a mother makes and the love and joy they bring into the world. I literally had to record this twice because I got choked up reading it the first time. If you don't know Function Health, it's an all-in-one health platform that helps you take control of your health through data. Instead of guessing what's happening inside your body, Function helps you know for sure, providing access to 100+ advanced lab tests. These tests include insights into thyroid function, hormones, liver health, heart health, autoimmunity, kidney function, nutrient levels, heavy metal toxicity, immune system, electrolytes, and more. With Function, your first set of tests helps establish a baseline of your health, giving you a starting point to compare future tests against. This makes it easy to spot changes, even subtle ones, and address them proactively. For all my moms out there, Function Health is the best way to care for you so you can continue to care for them. Get Function Health's Long Live Moms book for free at functionhealth.com/capslock and learn more about how Function Health can help you take better care of you. That's functionhealth.com/capslock. Hey guys, it's Sam and welcome to Caps Lock, a podcast designed to help you live bigger, better, louder, and longer. Before we get started, I just want to thank you guys for listening and for giving this a chance and for coming here in pursuit of your best self. This is a space where we are going to grow together, and my hope is that it helps you go forward confidently, unapologetically, and with purpose. It's time to live your life in Caps Lock. If that mission feels aligned for you, hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode, and let's dive in. Today's guest is a registered dietitian and the co-founder and CEO of Culina Health, a revolutionary clinical nutrition care company that aims to make RDs accessible to everyone, with diversity and inclusion at the core of their business. While working in a clinical setting, she watched tons of patients come and go. But it wasn't until a couple she knew, where both members of the relationship were pre-diabetic, came to her for advice that she realized her true purpose. The couple had tried working with other nutritionists to maintain their culturally preferred diet while improving their blood sugar levels, but nobody was able to find a solution that fit their lifestyle. Not to mention, they were shelling out a lot of money only to fall short of their goals. Over the span of just a couple weeks, she was able to reverse their outlook and see firsthand the impact of her work. She quickly realized that inclusivity in the nutrition space was more than just a buzzword, it was life-changing. In 2020, she and her business partner founded Culina Health to bring RDs to people of all backgrounds and income levels, raising $13 million in funding, building an all-female leadership team, and most importantly, becoming a leading trusted care provider for physician referrals, with patient outcomes consistently surpassing industry averages. She's been featured on The Today Show and in Vogue, Forbes, Shape, Glamour, and more. And today, she is here with us to talk all things wellness, from seed oils to GLP-1s to ultra-processed foods, food dyes, superfoods, nutrition myths, and how to eat for your health and longevity. Please join me in welcoming to the show Vanessa Rissetto.
Hi.
Hi. That was the longest bio ever. I'm so sorry.
Love it.
You're an absolute killer.
Girl, when I was a kid, everyone told me I was ugly and looked like Patrick Ewing.
What?
And I was like, I did well, but I was just like a regular kid. And now people are reading bios like this.
Yeah, how does that feel?
It's kind of crazy. One time somebody was like, do you know that less than 100 women have ever raised over $1 million?
Wait, are you kidding?
No, less than 100 Black women have ever raised more than $1 million
Hell.
in venture funding. And now
First of all,
we've raised 20 million. It's
badass.
wild, right?
Congratulations.
And you're like, how did I do that? Like, I went to Fordham. I didn't go to Harvard. I didn't go to
New York.
Like, it's it. Yeah. So it feels good. You know, I think your life can change in 1 minute. And I have experienced that many, many times. And that's like the thing to always tell yourself, like, don't hold on to anything too tight because tomorrow's different.
You're so right. Oh, I love that. Mm-hmm. This is a good start. That is a good energy setter. Well, let's start with, I love the story of how you came to do what you're doing. Since they played such a pivotal role in your origin story, I want to hear more about this couple.
Yeah.
What was their preferred diet? Why do you think the nutritionists who came before you were not able to help them?
Yeah. Well, first of all, they're the best. They're the best. And so one is a music producer. One, you know, was a television producer, and they, you know, had connections, knew people, etc. They actually didn't work with a nutritionist. They worked with physicians. So
worse.
Yes. So the physician would, you know, what happens is you see your doctor once a year.
Yeah.
And if you can't remember anything, the doctor's like non-compliant and then just ups your medication. And that is the end of that. But then they would ask people in the community. And so, I love you, Beyonce. I'm coming to see you on the 22nd of May. But you had your whole video, your whole documentary, and, you know, you were eating vegan. And so then every Black person in America decided to be vegan. And I'm like, fam, you don't have a chef that's going to make your strawberries, your tomatoes taste like chocolate and your you know what I mean? Like, just stop it. Just stop. And so that was the problem. It was like, they're over consuming carbs. No one is talking to them. They were engaged. Like, they're not doctors and lawyers, but they are engaged. And if you tell them how to do it and put the pieces of the puzzle together for them, they're going to do it. That's your job as a clinician.
So they wanted to be vegan, but lower their blood sugar levels. Is that right?
Correct. And they didn't know how to do it. And I was like,
and no one could help it. That seems like kind of TBH. Like, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. It seems like kind of an easy solve.
The thing is that everyone's like, just eat beans and cashew cheese. And I'm like, okay, cashew cheese is processed. The cashew is not supposed to be cheese. So
also gross.
Right. So don't think you're better than me because you're a vegan that's eating cashew cheese, because you're not. You might
as well eat a machine.
Yeah, might as well eat a burger. No difference. And I was like, you also don't have to be vegan. Like, yes, the studies say that we should eat more plants, but let me show you how that looks. That looks like I ate oatmeal for breakfast. Maybe I had a salad and chickpeas for lunch. And then at dinner, I had chicken. Take the pressure off, because life is very difficult and you have children and jobs and you're rushing places. So maybe you can't hit it every day. And when you are omitting certain food groups, this is where you're going to have pitfalls, and this is where it's going to get hard. So they were like, oh, so yes, they ate mostly plants, but they weren't necessarily married to that. It was just that they watched this celebrity talk about how she did it and it was life-changing. Like, of course it was, because somebody wakes her up with like Avion spritz and, you know, works her out and dresses her. Like, I'm not saying her life is easy. She has a different set of animals that we don't deal with. However, that piece is very easily managed for her. And so I just ordered some things, you know, reordered the way they thought about it, gave them the tools. And now everybody is in normal range and had another baby. And they're like, we're going to live long lives because of you. I'm like, I know.
So that's crazy to me, because a conversation we're hearing so much right now is eat more protein, eat more protein. That's all anyone talks about.
I know.
And I know that we need to get enough protein.
Sure.
Like, it's drilled into my head. I get it. But what I'm hearing now all over the internet is like the Gen Z millennials, like that kind of cusp of people who are really into that right now, are going to have colon cancer because they're not eating enough fiber. And I feel like that speaks back to what you're saying of like, everyone is pigeonholing and putting pressure on themselves to focus on one thing. And that's creating a whole other set of problems.
Right.
Like, we need the balance more than anything.
Diets work because you do them for a long time and they're going to work. If you omit certain food groups, then yes, of course you're going to lose weight if that's what you're chasing. But is that actually good for you? Like, we have evolved as a species to tolerate animal protein, vegetables, fruits. So eat a varied diet and you're going to be doing better overall. But when people are like, yo, have you heard about the carnivore diet? I'm like, no, I don't put stupid things in my head. I'm very busy. So no, like, it's like, well, you just eat meat and then your blood sugar regulated. I'm like, why don't you just use your insurance and talk to a dietitian and someone's going to help you? But you don't need to eat slabs of beef, breakfast, lunch, and dinner in order to have better blood sugar levels. That's not it, my friend.
Have you seen people eating just like sticks of
butter.
It's disgusting.
What?
It's disgusting. I'm like,
What?
You dropped out of a heart attack one day? I don't care what you're telling me, because what are your other habits? This is very complex. Everybody is eating. The relationship with food is complex. It's not one size fits all. I don't care what Susie is doing down the street. She's lying to you about other things. Relax. And please eat a vegetable. That's the other thing. You tell me you don't like water or vegetables. I'm like, are you a child? Find the one vegetable that you like and eat it every single day. And water has no taste and it's good for you. So just do it.
People who say they don't like water are my mortal enemy.
Bizarre.
That's insane.
It's the most insane thing.
Grow up.
What is it that you don't like? There's nothing to like. I'm like, actually, I don't really care. You come into me, you're constipated and you only go to the bathroom once a week, drink water.
Yeah, you're good. We got you. It's actually pretty simple.
And they're like, is there something I could do to make it fun? I'm like, no.
What?
No, nothing. They're like, what about electrolyte?
Can grow up.
Yeah, electrolyte packets. I'm like, no, too much money and crap in it. Stop doing it. Stop it.
Yeah, they're also like half of them get recalled like for random mineral things.
Get off the internet and just go back to the basics.
Oh, that is the advice I needed to hear.
Yes.
I love that because we're so wrapped up in it. Okay, so we're going to come back to that because I have many questions about the internet. But
me too.
Relatable.
I was born in 1978, so I have stories about how I've experienced the internet, actually.
Oh, man. It's too deep today.
Yes.
But okay, so you work with this couple. You have your come to the light moment. You realize what you're supposed to do. You founded Culina Health with the goal of making registered dietitians inclusive and accessible.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like registered dietitians have been historically not accessible? Like, what was the gatekeep?
Oh, in 2014, the New York Times did an article on a dietitian. I won't say her name because if I say her name, I will get a summons from a lawyer, which you can send me all the summons you want because I'm also very lawyered up, but it's just a nuisance. So that's it. Anyway, they did this article on her and she was charging $10,000 for a package of sessions. And I'm going to tell you something else.
I can't.
It's ridiculous.
Get past that.
Our governing body sells you some lie that you're going to be some famous dietitian. Nobody cares what I'm eating. They care what Kim K is eating. But okay, cool. And to be fair, out of NYU, for example, there are many very notable dietitians that came out of there. So I could see why you think that this is a thing, but it's actually not a thing. And this dietitian, I will say, because of that, made it that people would want to see a dietitian. So she put us on the map. However, all of us working at Mount Sinai Hospital at that time were aghast. Who do you think you are? How dare you charge people this? This is not necessary. And then it made people think, if I go to a dietitian, I must pay cash, I must pay top dollar. And if I'm not paying top dollar, then it's not good. And the story told, she would go to the Capitol Grill with hedge fund managers and order their lunch. And it was also, I don't want that for my life.
I'm not a toddler.
This is stupid. And everyone that worked for her was very, very skinny and very, very white and, very, very restrictive. And sorry, that's not reflective of Gen Pop.
Right.
So if that is what we're highlighting, then that's not for me.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about people in the projects with on SNAP benefits. I'm talking about
85% of the population.
I'm talking about I graduated from college, I'm 25 years old and I'm making a regular salary and I think I might want to see a dietitian. Well, I'm definitely not spending $1,000 on that because that's probably my rent.
Right.
So I have to make a choice. And so I know I always say when people are like, oh, I go to a functional medicine doctor. I'm like, okay, whatever you want to do, you can do. But you can put me up against a functional medicine doctor any day of the week. And I'm going to get to the same answer as that doctor is going to get to. And you used a copay. You want to know why? Because that doctor is spending time with you. And insurance, because dietitians are highly trained, underutilized. We go along the cycle with pre-med students, nursing students, and then everybody splits off and does their internship. I did my internship in a hospital, Mount Sinai, where medicine is happening. I understand patients at an acute level. The food is the overlay. I have to know every single disease, every single medication, how everything interacts. It's actually very difficult to be a dietitian. Only 50% of the people that apply ever match. They are some of the smartest people that we know.
That's crazy.
And so insurance companies, we're highly trained, underutilized. They pay us because they're paying us less than the physician to talk to the patient once a week for an hour. So guys, you let me coordinate care with your physician. You come see me every week for an hour. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I have so many stories of patients that are like, I don't know, I have this. And I listen to them and I'm like, okay, try this and come back in a week. And they're like, oh my God, you fixed my life.
It's gone.
And I'm like, well, I didn't fix your life. You still need to go do these things. But what I'm thinking is true. So now go get that checked out from this doctor that I trust. And then they come back and they're like, oh my God, you were right. I'm like, yes, because I care about medicine and science. And I don't care about selling you supplements or courses because that's bullshit. How about I teach you based on your stage of change, based on how much money you have at the end of the week, based on your cultural preferences, based on how you just want to live. You want to be vegan? Okay, great. This is how we're going to do it. I don't have any problem. You don't want to eat chicken, but you want to eat beef? Great. Let me tell you everything about that and why you want to think about that before you do it, right? Everybody has choices. Instead of, take this test and then I'm going to pump you with supplements. Like, what?
For those of you who are listening right now and not watching, my jaw has been on the floor the whole time you're talking. That is beautiful. Everything you just said. I didn't learn until I stopped seeing. It's not that I stopped seeing my medical doctors. I still went to see my medical doctors, got my blood work, whatever. But I went on a little functional health journey, and I still like a lot of the lifestyle adjustments I'm hearing. But when I tell you I spent $1,700 on supplements after my first.
Correct.
And I actually called and returned some of them that I never took because I was like, I don't think they're making a difference.
That's right. And so there's no, I know why people go seek that out, because they want an answer, because
they want root cause.
Yes, because the doctors are not, many of them are not able to spend the time with you to get to the root cause, right? And so then you need to be working with people that know who these doctors are. And so the health system is broken. I'm not saying that it isn't. And we do have a lot of work to do. But guys, the supplements aren't it. Because if they were all it, then we would be all on it. And then we wouldn't be taking anything else. And we would be a country of healed people, and no cancer wouldn't be on the rise. All of this.
Great point.
Everybody,
great point.
Think about it.
Great point. Actually, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, so don't do it. Don't do it.
That's
the ashwagandha is not going to heal you. I promise.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it's funny too. There's always a personal anecdote about a supplement working, right? And then there's 99% of people are like, it did nothing.
It did nothing.
And I could do that forever. I'm actually just not even going to dive, because I will dive and I won't come back up.
Yeah. I get it.
So how are you able to make your work accessible to people in a way that not all nutritionists and dietitians are?
We are on every single major insurance. We contracted with every single major insurance carrier and Medicare Advantage. And so 93% of our patients exercise their insurance benefits. And so they only have to pay their copay. Sometimes copays are zero. Everybody's benefits turn over every single calendar year. Patients execute about 9 sessions per calendar year, and then we see 30% of those patients return in the next year. We are different than a marketplace where I'm just a dietitian and I want people to know that I exist, so this company is going to take over all the admin. But so there's really no standard of care there.
Yeah.
Culina is really judicious about how we hire people, and we do have a standard of care in our care delivery. And the proof is that we are the only company like this with a payer. So Blue Cross Blue Shield is on our cap table. They have invested in every round, and they led this Series A, and only 15% of startups ever even close a Series A round. So, and then we are tracking data alongside Blue Cross Blue Shield to prove that the work the dietitian does is responsible for the reduction in the total cost of care. So payers are risk averse. They're not putting their money in something that is bullshit.
Yes.
So go see a dietitian. We know that there's value here.
Yeah. Well, and also I think a lot of people forget that doctors can prescribe nutrition and lifestyle changes.
Sure, but also you don't need a referral.
You can just do it.
You can just do it.
You can just exercise your free will.
In 2008, Obamacare was the first time that a registered dietitian session was included in healthcare, and
wait, that's literally insane.
Yeah,
but okay.
Yeah, and so Medicare, Medicare said yes, and then commercial payers followed suit. So it's an education piece. You do not need your doctor to write you a referral, because most people are insured by their employer, and most of them cover this because everybody sees that this is the path towards prevention. So no, only if you're on Medicaid do you probably need a referral.
Wow.
But not.
That's amazing. So then in terms of inclusivity, can you share some specifics about how the industry is not inclusive and also what you're doing to change that?
Yeah, so 98% of registered dietitians are white women. One time I was featured in Bon Appetit, and I talked about that, and the Academy called me. So my governing body had a delegate call me to tell me that I was airing out their dirty laundry. And I was like, okay, first of all.
Oh, that's public information.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, it's on your website.
Actually.
So now if you go to look for it, it's buried. That's number one. Number two, you should spend less time calling me to tell me and more time about diversifying.
Yeah, more time
field.
hiring.
Correct. You guys are idiots.
White women.
Yeah. So 44% of our practitioners identify as white. And so it's on purpose, right? You need to be able to see people who look like you so that you can feel seen or heard, right? We know that white women get diagnosed with breast cancer double black women, but black women die at a higher rate because they don't feel seen or heard by their practitioner. So it's very much, and because we've all worked in New York City hospitals, we understand. I mean, many celebrities have come through my door. They won't tell you that, but because I'm not paying them $50,000 to tell me.
Right, you're not sponsoring it.
I've helped them, and I've helped the person in the housing project, and I've helped the mom from the suburb in Bergen County, and all the people. And I have to tell them the same thing and make them understand it. That is a real skill set.
It is.
Yeah. So, and that's what we're doing, right? It's like, hey, let's just empower people without any shame to be well. So like you use SNAP benefits, but you want to eat organic produce. Okay, great. Mount Sinai right now, from now until October, if you have SNAP benefits, you can go there every Tuesday and there's a farmer's market and you can get organic fruits and vegetables.
That's amazing.
Go do that. Do that.
People don't know about that.
No, people don't know about that.
No one knows about that.
No, because everyone's trying to, get a Dutch test or a GI mapping or whatever whatever nonsense it is, right? Like, and then they feel shame that they can't afford that course or any of these platforms.
Yeah, because it's a status symbol now instead of an actual health.
Correct. It's like, how do we make money? And like, let's be serious. Like, I have investors and they want 10x what they lent me. So I get it. I have to make money.
Yeah.
But
but you have a mission in mind that is not the money.
Yes.
Well, one of the best ways that I can think of to combat inequity in the wellness space is to share information for free.
Yes.
That's what we're doing here today.
That's what I do, yes.
And I'm obsessed with you for that.
I am obsessed with you for that. Thank you.
I feel like there's a lot of noise and a lot of gray area when it comes to nutrition. People have a lot of trouble deciding what to believe.
Yep.
And even right here, you're talking about things that I have said on the podcast, like, oh, do this, or I'm looking into this, or like whatever, right? And not knowing what to believe, I think at this stage of where the internet is and like the way we live our lives is totally justified. Like, the internet's a great equalizer. Anybody can post a video claiming anything. That's the double-edged sword of it, right? And if people speak with enough conviction, everyone believes them.
Totally.
So now that we have you here, I'm going to ask your input on a million buzzy, trendy nutrition topics.
I'm here for it.
We need to help our listeners cut through the noise.
Yes.
And honestly, just like, I want people to be able to make educated and informed decisions about how they're eating and how they're living their lives.
Yeah. Before you ask me, I want to say it's totally fine to go down the path of things if you can afford them. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, you live your own life and you do what's best for you. But it's so polarizing for people when they hear it and they're like, well, I can't ever do that. So I'm screwed.
So I want to start with ultra-processed foods because that is like the word that is emblazoned across every headline.
Yes.
What does ultra-processed actually mean? Can you define it sort of?
Yeah. Well,
I used to be the queen of searching my symptoms on the internet and going down a rabbit hole of terminal illnesses that I definitely didn't have, but would then lie awake worrying about for weeks. As I reinforced that habit time and time again, the line started to blur between when I should or shouldn't take a symptom seriously. I mean, even if your symptoms match up with a diagnosis on the internet, everyone experiences health issues differently. So there's no way to know if you've got the same thing as that girl on TikTok. But now I know that knowledge is power, so I'd rather see a doctor right away to either soothe my unfounded concerns or get the care I need. And that is where ZocDoc comes in. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. I've used ZocDoc to find all my medical doctors, and it has been a total game changer because I used to have so much trouble finding the overlap between who's a good fit for me, who takes my insurance, and who's available to see me. So take back the power, stop putting off those doctor's appointments, and go to ZocDoc.com/capslock to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/capslock. ZocDoc.com/capslock.
Cashew cheese is also ultra processed. And so are Doritos.
Does it refer to something that's like synthetically developed?
Yeah, there's all kinds of fake stuff in it, right? And then you would think of frozen berries are also, they're processed, not ultra processed, right? Because they ripen to their peak and then they're flash frozen.
And that's the processing.
That's the processing.
Okay.
Whereas cashew cheese, like you're taking cashews and somehow making them to taste like cheddar cheese.
Right. So the ultra is like, we are transforming the properties of this.
Right. And so it's like,
enjoyment.
Right. And it's like, well, how did you do it?
Yeah.
Or it's like when people
talk about it.
When people are like, I eat turkey bacon every day. And I'm like, where on the turkey is the bacon?
I'm crying.
And people are like, I said it to people and their eyes just like fall out of their heads. They're like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, just eat the bacon. I'm
That's
like
crazy.
And I can tell you all the reasons that I don't eat bacon, and it's about that a pig is like a 4-year-old, and I feel bad. So there's that. So that is the, and I'm like, whatever. I'm always like, are you kidding? If a cow could eat you, he would eat you. But like something about the pig makes me sad. I think.
No, they're too intelligent.
Yeah, they're too smart. So I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. But yeah, like turkey bacon is like, no, guys.
Okay, so what do the ultra processed foods actually do to our bodies? Like what?
There's inflammation. We think like linked to cancer. I just read something just before that was like, this was kind of intense though. If you eat ultra processed foods 11 times a day, and I was like, oh, wow.
Which honestly though, people probably do. People probably do.
Like, do people? I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Then you're at higher risk for cancers, dysregulation of hormones, etc. And I was like, yeah, probably. But like, I don't know. Do I need someone to tell me that? I know that.
Of course you do. It comes in a plastic bag.
Yeah, it comes in a plastic bag. Like, cookies, like, I love a Chips Ahoy cookie from like being a kid, but like,
God,
it might kill you. So you can't have that every day.
I would say the juice is not worth the squeeze on that one, Polly.
It's true. It's true. But there are Doritos in my pantry right now because I love them.
And you need the balance.
Yeah, sometimes you have them. That's right.
Joy.
That's
totally.
Right. That's right.
Well, I recently played one of those like interactive quiz games on the New York Times website. And the premise of the game is that you're grocery shopping. You're presented with 4 food options from a grocery store shelf. You can see all the ingredients under each product, just like you would on the back of a carton or a can or whatever packaging. And then you have to select which food item out of the 4 options is not ultra processed. So I played this game.
Okay.
While I was going through, I was kind of surprised because I wasn't immediately, it wasn't like that one. Every time. Like there were some where it was like super obvious because the words are like 87 characters long.
Yeah.
And then there was some where I was like, that is actually a critical thinking question.
Yeah.
So the point of the article really hit home for me. And which I think is that these things can be really sneaky. Like some of them are hiding in plain sight.
Yes.
So when we're food shopping, if we're not eating 100% whole foods, because a lot of us try to, especially people listening to this podcast, I think are like generally speaking, putting more effort into that. But it's not realistic for everybody. It's not possible for everybody. And a lot of people are just not able to do that.
Yeah.
How can we more easily identify which items are ultra processed?
Yeah. So like anything that has a ton of fiber in it, well, how does it have it? Or a ton of fiber and a ton of protein? Like
right. Most things kind of have one or the other, right?
Pretty processed. There are certain bars that have high protein, high fiber. So the fiber that you're getting is inulin and chicory, which is, I mean, it's naturally occurring, but it's going to like probably mess up your stomach. And then they have like 28 grams of protein, like how in a bar, like how, guys?
Yeah, like what's in there?
What's in there? Yeah, or then it's like, oh, it's sugar free and it tastes delicious, and you're like, guys,
good question.
Well, how is it?
Great question.
What is it? And you look and it doesn't just say dates, like you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like
no, it says like gluta, hista, myza,
right, all that stuff, right? And so those are the things you need to be looking for, and then also there are like the glaring ones, right? Like you already know, like the carcinogen, and like there are words that you can identify, and then you have to decide like what do you want, right? Like, oh, I want to eat cheese and crackers, and it's like, okay, eat the cheese and the crackers. So now we got to just go do some research on the cheese and the crackers that you want to eat, because if you're going to do that every single day,
right,
you want to make sure it's as minimally processed as possible.
Right.
And so it's not going to kill you even if you have a small amount of Doritos every single day, if mostly you're eating plants and you're eating a varied diet and you're not drinking sugar, sweetened beverages, and you're not drinking alcohol, like, then you're probably going to be fine.
Yeah.
But if everything you do is the opposite, if it's you're not moving your body, you're drinking alcohol, everything is processed, every food you have is a convenience food, this is where you're going to get yourself into trouble.
That's crazy. Well, so off the top of your head, I think part of speaking to the concept that they're hiding in plain sight is like, I feel like there are some foods where you're like, that can't be ultra processed. But then you find out they are. I mean, like, do you have any off the top of your head?
All the plant-based milks are ultra processed. There's like
right, by nature.
There's like 2 that aren't. Like when you look at them, it's like, or how about peanut butter, guys? It is so infuriating to me. Like, I eat peanut butter all day long. It's just like, I'm hungry. I'm just gonna have a spoonful of peanut butter. I put the peanut butter in my yogurt. Like, peanut butter just takes me really far. It like shuts my kids up. It's like great. Like, it's just stop.
It's a multi-purpose tool.
Multi-purpose. I only like the one from Costco because it's just salt, oil, peanuts. And you're like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, like, I know that. I know those words.
But you're in Whole Foods. And so you're just like, I'm going to grab this peanut butter. And you're like, oh, I'm eating this. And you're like, why does it taste so sweet? Because there's also sugar. And then you can't get to Costco for some reason and you ran out of your peanut butter.
So you're back.
So now you're in the supermarket just looking like a psychopath. Like, which one doesn't have sugar? And
none of them.
They all have it.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. And so like, that's it. Like, why do you have to do that? Why are we taking it to that place? Or even like you see, oh, it's healthy jam. And you're like, it's not, it's like,
I hear there's no such thing.
It's no such thing. It's concentrated. And then my kids are like, why did you smash the raspberries in the peanut butter? I'm like, because they were going bad and they made them like a jam. And they're like, why can't you just buy jelly?
Why can't you be a regular mom?
And I'm like, oh my goodness. So like, that is the thing, right?
Totally.
Because it's like, oh, well, this jam has chia seeds in it, so it must be good. And you're like, it literally has 76 grams of sugar, guys.
Yeah, and like 18 ingredients.
Yeah.
You're like, that's not normal.
I would think it would just have raspberries and chia seeds. Something is wrong. And like maybe like some, citrus for like, shelf stabilizing.
Fine.
But like, what's happening here? And that is what it is. It's like there's all this healthy stuff and you see chia, flax, oat milk, whatever. And you're like, okay, it's fine. This must be fine.
And
like,
it's totally not.
It's not. It's not.
Totally.
So that is where we're having friction.
100%. Wow, that just answers so many. I don't even have to ask you questions. I think I might just let you keep going.
Yeah.
In the same vein as the ultra processed foods, I want to talk a little bit about the food dyes because of all the media buzz we're hearing about them. So like, what did those do to us? I'm hearing carcinogens, et cetera. And are we consuming them in high enough levels to actually have impact?
I mean, maybe some people are. I don't know what people are doing in their daily life, but like, I don't know. My kids eat Peeps once a year. I don't let them.
I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, I don't let them eat. I don't let them drink juice or soda because I'm a monster, obviously.
No, because you're...
Yeah, but like...
Because you know what's in them.
Right, but all the kids come to my house because I have a pantry full of things. Right? And so, like, do we have ADHD? Do we have, like, we know the food dyes aren't benefiting us here. And like, no, you probably just shouldn't be eating Skittles, like, because you shouldn't.
Right, because of maybe all the other stuff is also bad.
Correct, but like, I don't know, did you need me to tell you that the M&Ms have dyes?
Yeah, like, what's that color in nature?
Like, again, Doritos are my favorite food, but like, I am clear that the orange is fake and it is a chemical. It is a dye.
I think the only time you see that color in nature is like poisonous frogs.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm like, everyone, like, girl, you good? Blink twice. Like, why? So now it's like, oh my God, we're getting rid of the dyes. Like, okay, cool. But like, also, can you still fund pediatric cancers and like, can we focus on those other things too?
Yeah.
It's just, I think that all that stuff is like distraction.
That's actually really interesting because I feel like I think I'm guilty of getting like really wrapped up in like the legislation and the processes, right? Because like I was listening with rapt attention to like the anti-Fruit Loops, right?
Sure.
Lobby conversation.
Sure.
But that's actually a really interesting point is like, and I think we'll talk about seed oils in a second as well. That's what I want to talk about next, which you can probably smell coming a mile away.
Yeah.
But like, I think what is so interesting is people get distracted because the food dyes are on the things that are bad. And the seed oils are what they use to cook fucking like fried chicken.
Right.
So it's like the seed oil and the food dye are maybe not actually the worst thing in the thing that you're eating.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Right. The call's coming from inside the house.
That's right.
Right. Okay.
That's right.
Interesting.
And I don't know, like, the food dye thing, it's a good signal. Like, it made you feel kind of hopeful. Like, you were like, okay.
Yeah, like they care.
This is kind of cool. They care. So, like, attack this food dye shit, but then you're going to come up with, like, real stuff, and that's going to be super dope. But like, yes,
this is the tip of the iceberg.
This is it. Like, oh, you're going to pass this? Okay. Like, I'm with you. And then you're like,
and then they stop.
Yeah. And you're like, wait, what? Are you going to take away like my parents' Medicare? My parents who, worked their whole lives, and, my dad is an engineer, my mom is a nurse, and they're the contributing members of society, and like,
and they're never going to be able to retire because they're
like, well, we're afraid we're going to get sick. And like, so now we just have to work forever. Like that. Guys, fix that.
Right. That's such an interesting point. I think people really do, they focus in on the wrong thing.
Yes.
They get so micro
yes.
that we're sort of losing big picture.
Correct. Like, how often are you eating Skittles? Every day? You eat Jolly Ranchers every day, guys? Okay.
I fear we're missing a problem.
Then I'm sorry. Then we have a different conversation. Like, come on.
Crying.
Yeah.
That's so true. Okay, so let's do the seed oils then.
Seed oils. So much.
Like, are you fucking tired of saying those words?
I'm fucking tired of it.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, yo, do you know there's like a billionaire that's like, it's a lobbying effort, and he's got like an algae oil? I'm like, come on.
Like I literally can't hear that.
I can't hear it
right now.
I can't hear it. This is the thing. Okay, the studies are coming out. They cause inflammation. They do. We know that they do.
All of them or some of them?
Pretty much. Who knows? Next week, they'll say none of them.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay, whatever. But this is the thing. Remember when everyone was talking about coconut oil, and coconut oil is the devil, and
coconut oil is like the only thing that's approved to use.
Except this is the thing, is that there's some rogue study somewhere that says that coconut oil is a medium chain triglyceride that may help you with your weight loss or metabolism. That's why everything keto is the base is coconut. This is nonsense. It's also like the highest in saturated fat, like 70% going to clog your arteries. But you know what? If you're the serving size, then this is the thing. Everyone's always talking out of both sides of their mouths. You shouldn't tell people about portion. I'm like, you should all shut the hell up, because people actually need to understand portions.
Yeah.
And this is the nuance. The serving size for oil, my friends, is 1 teaspoon. So
the call stays inside the house. It's ringing all around us.
Guys, how come? And you're over here coming for me like, I can't believe that you... One time I was saying, okay, if you're a diabetic and you want to maintain, like your blood sugar, et cetera, then the serving size of rice is 1/3 of a cup. And somebody like slid into my DMs and was like, this was really triggering. What about people who have eating disorders? And I was like, okay, well, I wasn't talking to people who have eating disorders, because I know very clearly how to identify those people and talk to them. I was talking to diabetics who were trying to understand what the serving size is for a carbohydrate.
And also, I'm so about sensitivity to like disordered thinking.
Sure.
But a serving size doesn't, like the facts of a serving size and like the caloric information and the ingredients within that serving doesn't change if you have an eating disorder. It is still like the serving size that exists for whatever the numbers are.
And they'll tell you.
And you can choose what to eat.
That's right. And they'll tell you, well, it's not a thing. And I'm like, listen to me, be quiet. I don't even want to hear this anymore.
Also, this is your job and education.
Because the studies are always changing.
Yeah.
But the serving size of oil is 1 teaspoon.
Right. That doesn't change.
So everybody get on it. And like, yes, you're frying food. Yes, we all know that's not good.
Right, the activity of the frying.
Correct. It's not good. It's not good for you. So yeah, it's going to cause inflammation, and maybe it's going to cause cancer and all kinds of other things. Correct. So can you have fried chicken sometimes? Yeah, sure. Can you have French fries? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But
Also, by the way, these are the same people who drink alcohol.
That part.
Let's say the quiet part out loud.
That part.
We are picking and choosing when to have a problem with something.
They also use Splenda. They come to my house all the time. They're like,
no,
I don't eat till 3:00, and I have Splenda in my coffee. I'm like, oh, and I drank wine, but I don't feel comfortable.
You have the problem with the seed oils. That's where you draw the line.
I'm like, cool, okay. I'm like, I have a lot of work to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that really is such an interesting point too, because like there are so many things in this world now that have no redeeming qualities, and people just choose which ones to demonize based on a whim.
That's right.
And we did. Anyone who's like a frequent listener, I just did a solo episode on marijuana and like health benefits and risks and emerging studies and all that. And what's so interesting, and I think underscores like the crux of the debate about it and like the legalization, which like is such a gray area for many reasons, which like I will say I don't support the criminalization of it, but I also don't recommend it really for anyone for like health reasons, right? But anyway, all of that said, the reason I bring it up is because the history of the legalization, criminalization, can we research it? Is it restricted? Is it expensive to research because we can't import it? Like all of that, right? It's the same thing with everything. This new studies come out, new information comes out, and we change our opinions. And that is literally the definition of science, right? That's how the whole entire world was made.
Thank you. Thank you. You are so smart, Sam.
More information comes out. We change how we feel about things based on new information that we gather. What drives me insane is when people take a piece of information from a study that is may or may not have been peer reviewed, that may or may not have been adapted for social media content by an influencer to get some clicks and some this and that. And then they take it like Bible because like I go on the internet and it's like seed oils are the end of it all. Like, do you remember when the first time I ever heard of it was when Seed Oil Scout went on this tear against Carbone? I wonder, I should have looked this up. I wonder if major food groups sued the pants off of them because that is, I mean, the way they were slandering Carbone, and it's like, okay, I dare you to find a good quality restaurant, first of all, that doesn't use a seed oil.
They all use vegetable oil for their...
Which is quite literally seed oil.
For their salad dressing.
Also, have you ever made a brownie with vegetable oil at home? Have you ever baked anything? Have you ever greased your pan? Have you ever, like I have... There was a time when I was like, I'll learn more about the seed oil conversation. All of the peer-reviewed medical research is like, it's really not that bad if you eat it in responsible amounts. And that's the problem is that A, we're not.
That's right.
And B, we're eating it in the context of things like fried chicken, we were just saying. So it's like, okay, maybe the seed oil is not the villain you think it is.
It's not. It's not.
I needed to talk to you today. I didn't realize I was going to get therapy out of this as well.
It's so good. You're giving me therapy too. It's good.
I'm like, you go off. And if that feels good, it feels good to me.
I love it.
So what are some of the like big ubiquitous food problems we're having? Like what are the foods we should be avoiding? I know that, you know, from following some of the health people online, and you can tell me if they're wrong, like we're probably not supposed to be eating sugary breakfast cereals, processed meats if we can avoid it, right? That kind of stuff.
No, we should not eat processed meats because there is a direct link to colon cancer.
Right, and that's like the bacon stuff, right? Like, and it's not great.
Yeah, I mean, also that maybe pro tip, you might not know this, but like delis cook a ham and a turkey every day. So when you go to the deli and you want to get a sandwich, you can just say, "Can I have fresh ham or fresh turkey?" and they'll give it to you. You don't have to have like a processed meat.
Pro tip.
Yeah, it's a pro tip.
I'm like embarrassed that I have not done that.
I got you.
Great to know.
Yep.
But so like, can you explain? I mean, we know why those things are bad. The refined sugars, the processing, like all of the things. But like, what else is falling into that do not eat category where it's like that 1% of things that like there's not really a good reason to eat this besides like alcohol, right? We'll go there.
Soda and juice. There is no. I'm like, this rots your teeth. This is not good. My kids are like, can we have juice, mommy? I'm like, no, you cannot. And
you're like
literally,
they're like, I hate you.
Like, like my kids when they were really little, like I would go pick them up from a party and the mother would be like, so Catherine just like basically drank like 18 cups of juice. I'm like, I know I'm a monster. I don't let her have it.
Shut up.
Sorry. And like one time, my son Rocco, we went to a party and I just watched him keep going to he could go and dispense. We're at Dave and Buster's. He could go and dispense the juice. And then he like comes up to us and he's like, Mommy,
I'm going to throw up.
Yeah, he threw up in a parking lot. And then he was like, I feel better. And I'm like, cut it out with the juice.
Kids are all the same. One thing about kids is they will keep you right on your toes. You are fine.
Yes.
But you know what I would like to say? I don't think you're a monster because you send them to the parties and you let them be a kid, right?
Correct.
And they will learn on their own that you were right.
Yes.
And I gotta be honest, like something about my family and my mom in particular that I really admire is she was raised in a household with a picky eater father.
Yeah.
And so she was a really picky eater because her mom would cook food for her father that was just like, literally, he was super Italian, 100% Italian. So this man is like pasta for every meal. And so she grew up like that and she doesn't eat any seafood. She like can barely stomach a vegetable.
Right.
Been working on her for my whole adult life and she's doing better. Like she'll eat an avocado without literally choking on it now.
Thank God.
But she raised me to eat everything.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to be said about like, you can change what you grew up with. You're just trying to leave the next generation better than you found yours.
Yep.
And I don't think you're a monster, because now as an adult, I so appreciate my mom doing that for me, because like maybe I didn't want to look an oyster dead in the eye when I was 10 and I was literally thought I was going to throw up on it. But now I love oysters. Yeah. And if she didn't give me that, I wouldn't know. And with you, your kids are going to, in 10 years, be like, wow, you were really onto something, because I'm not addicted to sugar.
Right. Right. I'm
like I don't have cancer from that.
I'm like, please, please, you know, maybe you'll find some Sour Patch Kids lurking somewhere where they live. But like, again, it's not, you know, and
you said you like Doritos.
Yes. And when I packed their lunch, my kids are like very precious. And I think like only like 6 months ago, they started eating sandwiches. So it's like, please, like, and the teachers were like, Catherine's lunch is really impressive. I'm like, don't even go there.
Don't even talk to me about it.
Like, I pack them. Like, here's your cookie, here's your vegetable, here's your fruit, here's your food. Like, go.
Well, you were literally. Did you say the teacher? Like, that's my job.
No, they're like the teachers asked them, and you know my daughter when she was little, she had a list. She's like, my mother is a dietitian. Like she would
dietitian.
And it was like cute. It was cute.
Yeah, that's cute. Okay, so. What kinds of foods are we actively seeking out when we're food shopping? Like, what should we be proactively adding to our diets to make sure it's balanced, healthy?
You should eat a vegetable at lunch and dinner. And that doesn't need to be like roasted broccoli. Like literally, do you like carrots? My son only eats carrots. So I buy a bag of
carrots.
Yeah, I buy a bag of organic carrots. I cut them up in the week and I put them in a bag and I put them in the fridge. And then he picks them out and eats them.
Great.
And like, that's it.
Doesn't
right.
matter
And then
vegetable, get your vegetable.
Or we get like mini bell peppers. We get cucumbers. You just like chop them up. So like that is a really like easy passive way, right? I make sure that I have like canned sardines and tuna fish. Like that's in there. I make sure that I have tons of fruit. I have frozen fruit and I have, fresh fruit. And so when you have all of those things, and I always have my peanut butter and I have my plain Greek yogurt. When you have all of those things, you can like make meals pretty quick.
Yeah.
Nothing is really fancy, right?
Yeah.
Like, I make turkey tacos every Tuesday and it takes like 12 minutes.
Yeah, you're like easy.
Yeah, so just like it's more about planning what your week looks like, but making sure that you do have enough vegetable, like nuts, seeds, fruit, but like not fancy. It doesn't have to be fancy.
I actually would argue it shouldn't really be fancy,
because then you're not going to do it.
And also the fancier it gets, like the more stuff in it we're talking about, right? Like the condiments are one of the biggest vehicles for sugar and trans fats and stuff like that. So like you use oil and vinegar.
Yes.
It's simple, but it's what's in it.
Yes, I do rice wine vinegar. And then I do a little bit of olive oil. I'm like, guys,
like this tastes good.
Yeah, I'm like, can you put some like nuts and seeds in your salad and some cheese? I'm like,
they like disappear into it.
I'm like, let me come to your house. I'll make you the best salad you ever had. I don't even know what's in your refrigerator, but I'm gonna get it done. And I'm like, what?
I'm like, I'm a bowl girl with like junk in the fridge. Yes. And I will always, there are 3 things I always keep in my fridge. And one of them is walnuts, one of them is sliced almonds, raw almonds, and one of them is hemp seeds. Yeah. And I just take a little mini like pinch of all 3 and put them in everything I eat. Like every bowl, every salad.
Good omegas. Like you're doing
we love a nut and seed.
This is just like a passive way to get stuff in. So I think don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. It's going to be fine.
And we love like single ingredient foods.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
I knew I didn't need you to say it. I needed to say it to you.
And here, I'll say it out loud. Yes.
Say that out loud. The other thing though is that like even the healthy food, right? Nowadays, it just feels like you can't trust anything. Like everything's pumped full of chemicals. It's farmed from places that have like not good practices, or it's not clean, or it's not safe or healthy or whatever. Is that just like internet noise, or is that really the case?
I mean, both things are true, right? Like
there's extra noise, but it's also true.
It's also true, but like, what are you going to do? This is how we live, and this is how food is processed in this country. So,
right, like if we're not farming, what are
we doing, right? And so you just have to think, what is the most important thing to you? Like, are you okay with your bananas not being organic? Like I am, because there's a big thick peel there, so I'm not going to do that, right? And then, but I'm not okay with my proteins not being organic, right? Like and I can't.
Tell me why.
Because the meat industry is super industrialized, and so I want to know where my food is coming from. That's you know, and like they're pumped full of chemicals and hormones and different things. And even then, it is still like a little bit tricky.
Totally.
It's definitely tricky, but like at least I think I'm doing something like a little bit better.
So with meat and fish, what words are you looking for on the packaging that you're like, I feel okay about this purchase?
Yeah. So like with meat, like chicken, like, organic, like no antibiotics, no hormones, like that. And then with fish, it has to be like wild caught.
Okay. And are you like a free range on the chicken, or like, does it matter?
The free range thing is kind of like nonsense because,
it's like marketing.
Because, they're like on this little square and they can't like.
There's no fence, but there's also water with sharks.
Yeah, they can't spread the rings. But also, when I think about chickens, like I'm very much like, there's a food chain.
Yeah.
But chickens are really mean.
Really?
They're awful. They
really eat those.
They're like in a pen and they like forget that they're chickens and like, they put them like really close together because they're not nice. So like, we're all on a journey. We made a choice.
Like I'm eating the chicken.
We made a choice before we came. We make a choice before we come here. We make a choice and that was their choice. So it is what it is.
So, and fish is wild caught. Not farmed.
Not farmed. No, because they like feed them like feathers and like, or like also they're.
So they do what?
Yeah, they feed them feathers.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, and
that's cruel.
My cousin and her husband are fancy chefs. They also it's just disgusting. And like then you have like, tilapia. Everyone's like tilapia. I'm like, it's a bottom feeder. Tilapia is a bottom feeder, guys. You can eat it. Well, I'm just
You're like, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm giving you the information so you can decide what to do.
Feeder, so I'm not doing
I'm going to throw up really quick.
Yeah,
cool.
not doing it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So then there's all this stuff too, like identifying good oils. I hear a lot about dark glass bottles, early harvesting times.
Yes, but like, I don't know. Do you have money for that and time and bandwidth?
Right. Like, are you standing in the grocery store for 40 minutes? I love your approach because the pattern I'm seeing is like, I ask this like super micro question and you're like, fuck. It's like olive oil.
Yeah, it's olive oil. Just get it. I mean, like, yeah, do I know someone from Italy who like goes to Italy and is like, yo, do you want this olive oil all year? It's $200. I'm like, yes, of course.
Yeah,
but you don't know Mario that I see at Soul Cycle in Hoboken, but he's dope. Let me tell you.
I'm about to know Mario.
He is amazing. And I'm like, yo, when are you going to bring me a tiramisu and a chicken cutlet? He's like, come to my house. I'm going to show you how to do it. But yes,
tonight.
Yes, but he's like, okay, here. But you don't know Mario. Or my friend who her husband owns a bunch of restaurants actually, and everything is from Italy. And it's like, okay, can Mark get me something? Yeah, probably. Yeah. But like, okay, the rest of us have to just go, get the Cento can.
But I really love the underscoring of like, that's not the biggest fish you have to fry.
It's
like,
not.
That really, I think, takes some of the pressure off because.
Stop drinking. Stop. Can you
that part
can you
so
stop
loud.
Drinking every day? Like when people are like, I can't deal with menopause. I'm like, well,
cool. Guess what makes it worse?
You're 44 years old. You store fat in a different way and you drink too much. So stop drinking. Do not come here talking to me about, do I need to have my olive oil in a dark glass bottle? Is something wrong with you?
Right.
But you drank half a bottle of vodka a week?
Yeah, no, that's where
friend. This is the thing.
Yeah, it really is. Mm-hmm. And anyone listening knows that I'm in heaven right now because every episode I find a way to tell people to stop drinking alcohol. And everyone thinks I'm a narc, but I'm like, I don't care because there's not I said this, I'd be interested to see your opinion. Every time I say it, I say there's no redeeming qualities.
There's no redeeming qualities. Everything that they tell you, drink, it's good for your heart. No, it's not. You have to drink so much. I stopped drinking in 2020. I could see where it was going to become a problem. And so I stopped drinking.
Relatable.
And everybody is like, oh my God, you're not drinking? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, it's Tuesday and you are drunk and I'm not saying
Tuesday
anything.
And I have a family and a job.
I'm not saying anything to you. Are you am I making you laugh? Are we having fun? So don't come for me.
Yeah.
And then I got cancer and I'm on tamoxifen and the efficacy of tamoxifen is reduced when you drink alcohol.
Almost everything is reduced. You can't burn fat.
Nothing.
You can't process your medications.
Breast cancer survivors I know on tamoxifen that drink. It's so weird. I'm like, what's so weird? You drink?
You're ingesting a carcinogen.
Correct. When you already had cancer.
Right. We learned the lesson.
You're drinking a class 1 carcinogen.
Concerned.
And your body makes cancer.
And confused.
I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what the research says.
Giving you the information.
And you do whatever you want.
We're equipping you.
Yes.
So let's talk about the cancer. Do you feel like the ingestibles contributed? Like microplastics, food, processed foods, alcohol?
I think that it's probably all of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, my oncologist, I'm like, Dr. Tiersten, Amy Tiersten, Mount Sinai, she's the best. She's a researcher. Sinai is great. And Tiersten and Welts. And I'm like, hey, Dr. Tiersten, do you think that the weekly burger I had gave me cancer? She's like, I mean, probably not. But like, also, I don't know.
But also maybe.
Maybe. Like,
the truth is like, how do you know? You can't trace
That's
it.
her point.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I'm like, I don't drink and I exercise every day.
Yeah.
And I feel guilty if I don't eat a vegetable and I still got cancer.
Yeah, how is it you?
How is it me? But like, guys, live your fucking life. Number one, if it doesn't bring you joy, literally don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
And cut the bullshit. Like, we are in this weird society where we're just drinking all the time. Every time you go out, you're eating trash. Like, you are stressing yourself out. Like, it's just, there's so many things. You're not living truthfully. You're not willing to look in the mirror.
Right.
You are not willing to say, like earlier, you were like, yep, I was engaging in this behavior and then these things happened and then I made this change, right? Like, you know how many people just like die like that? And
Who like don't even actually do the self-reflection to be like, wait, maybe it's me.
Correct.
Also, like, we can't really escape the carcinogens, I fear.
That's right.
Like, I'm in a world now where I had a moment on the precipice of the edge where I was like, oh, like, we're all actually going to die of cancer because there's not a way out. Like, it's in the exhaust in the cars. It's in the nail polish. It's in the alcohol. It's in the birth control.
Toothpaste. And
it's in everything.
And the mouthwash. I've used mouthwash for years. And it's like, oh, kidding. It might cause breast cancer and pancreatic cancer. I'm like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah.
And then scouring for the toothpaste is not going to kill my family forever. I used one brand and then I was like, okay, this is the brand. And, you know, there's a bunch of like natural brands that you can use. I have finally settled on Hello.
Oh, me too.
Yes. Y'all get Hello. That's the best one. It's good. It has no chemicals.
Wait, I'm really happy to hear that.
And it foams properly because you know the other ones you're like,
gel.
Oh, this is
it's
just
slimy and gross.
you're like, this is gross.
Yeah.
So yes, you're sitting here just trying to do your best. And it's like, you're like, oh, you're worried because you know, about the freaking olive oil. Like, girl, you're brushing your teeth every day, twice a day at least.
Well, and that's the thing is I was standing on the edge looking down and understanding that if I let it, the fear of everything would consume me.
Yes.
And it's like, at the end of the day, even if we lived in a bubble, we would die early because I had Dr. Jonathan Leary from Remedy Place on here and he was like, isolation is a killer the same way all the carcinogens are a killer. Yeah. So you could isolate in a bubble for the rest of your life and avoid the cancer. Something else is going to get you.
That's right.
Like, we're not going to live past, I mean, some of us, God willing, will live past 100. But like, generally speaking, the human population in this day and age, we're dying in our like maybe 80s, 90s if we're lucky. And like, you need to live your life. So I decided to back away from the edge. And I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm going to try to make choices. I drink out of glass bottles. I don't microwave my food, right? Like, I do the many of the things, but I've chosen not to let it consume me because it's too scary.
Yeah.
When you were coming out of the cancer journey, so I understand you did chemo, radiation, surgery. Did you feel like you made like nutritional choices to support your healing? Like, did anything change about the way you eat?
Not really, except because, you know, I was like kind of depressed, so I didn't really eat that much.
Yeah. So I wish I was that kind of depressed. I think I'm the other kind where you eat everything that you can lay eyes on, but
yeah, I was kind of depressed. And what I will say is that, you know, I was always like, I don't eat that much. I don't eat that much. I don't eat that much. And then I was like, oh, actually, I think I do eat that much.
Yeah.
And so I did lose 30 pounds. So I do also think about that, even though like technically I wasn't overweight. Maybe that was it. Maybe it was just too much for me, even though like my whole life I never had a weight problem or anything. I don't know. I was just like getting older and I wasn't really, I wasn't bothered by it. I was kind of like, okay, like I still looked fine. Like, I don't know. And then that was it. So that's like the only change. I do notice like I only eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't eat snacks anymore, like stuff like that.
Interesting.
But,
and is that a choice or is that like almost like a reactionary?
I think it was like kind of like I wasn't eating that much and then friends would come over and be like, girl, you got to eat. And then they would make me eat. And then I think that like I just kind of got used to only eating like that, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so then I'm like, okay, well,
that's just your new habit.
This is the new habit. And it's like, it's fine.
Okay. So I have a dear friend who came on the show and told her story. And she was like, yeah, like I think since being in remission, like for me, I try to eat the single ingredient foods. I do the thing, but she had a lot of the same approach as you, which is like have the joy and also try to eat single ingredient.
Correct.
Like, do your damn best.
Yes. Like the other day I was like, oh, I didn't eat all day and I'm really tired. I'm just gonna eat this Snickers bar. And then I was like, oops, I think I'm lactose intolerant, so cannot do that again. Whatever. But then like,
you're probably just as likely to get the cancer from like stress.
Totally.
Than as you are with like a microplastic.
Sam, my whole life was stress.
Yeah.
I'm running a startup. I have investors. I was in a marriage I wasn't happy in. Like,
there's a lot going on.
So it's just like the perfect storm.
It is. And I actually like a lot of the people I know who had to go through this are in the same boat. They were all stressed. They had a lot of responsibility on their shoulders. They felt burdens that they were carrying. Like, and you have to wonder, like, if we're so worried about microplastics, if we're so worried about seed oils and food dyes and all that, why aren't we as worried about that? Like if people wear it as a badge, and I'm guilty of this, wear it as a badge of honor when they're stressed. They're like, how are you?
Yeah.
Busy. That's not an answer.
No.
That's not a feel. That's not an emotion.
No.
But it's something that's a whole different episode.
You're right.
But
You're right.
It's something we need to talk about.
Yes, you wear it as a badge, and the only person you're hurting is yourself, and you are taking yourself down like a dark path. And the problem is you are stuffing down all the feelings and you are lying to everyone. And so this is making you sick.
Yeah. So pivot quick. What are some of the biggest and I feel like the connection here is like the seed oils, the food dyes, the like getting so micro and everything. What are some of the biggest myths, the nutrition myths that you've come across in your work?
This whole carnivore thing is driving me berserk. Like, only eat meat. I'm like, guys, shut up. This is so annoying. So
colon cancer.
Yeah, like stop. Like very unpleasant, guys. Like, I mean, cancer in here where all your organs are strikes me as really bad. So like, let's do the best. Let's just make sure we did everything we could. Like,
I have a bad feeling about that.
Yeah, it's just like not good. Like I like that. Then when people are, like this whole like nightshades shit. Like,
no, what is this?
Girl, I don't eat nightshades. Like, I don't eat tomatoes and eggplant. I'm like, what?
What is a nightshade?
I don't know. It's like people with like, oh, it's inflammation. It's this, it's that. And I'm like, why? What did the tomato ever do to you?
Like, what is classified as a nightshade? I've never even.
Yes, a tomato, an eggplant. What? Like these things are going to cause inflammation. They're going to like mess with your thyroid. They're gonna, and you're like, what? Are they? Is that true? I didn't learn that in school, so I'm saying like no.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
with like no. Also, like you don't need to eat your body weight. Your protein in your like body weight.
Right. Like if you're 120 pounds, you don't need to eat 120 grams of protein.
No, you don't. And also, oh wait, here's the other thing. When you go to a 45-minute spin class, you don't need to like replenish anything. Just drink water. Like
wait, I have to tell you something.
Tell me.
That immediately comes to mind. I was drinking water. I was like, I'm so dehydrated. I'm drinking water. And someone looks at me and goes, water doesn't hydrate you. And I was like, I literally didn't respond because I was so like struck. And I like literally 20 minutes later turned to my friend, a different friend, and I was like, did they say that water doesn't make you hydrated? And she was like, yeah, I think she meant because like you need to have like electrolytes. Okay. I genuinely, I think I was like drooling because I was so struck by that. That's not true, right?
It's so idiotic. Like
water hydrates you.
Yes, water hydrates you. People actually, if you drink coffee every single day, like
that actually has water in it.
Yeah, it like adds to your hydration status. Yeah. It's not necessarily going to dehydrate you. And yes, of course, you can use electrolytes. When I ran the New York City Marathon and I ran over 18 miles, I would make sure to have electrolytes, and also I would have an extra half of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Sure. But like you just rode a spin bike for 45 minutes, like you good, girl.
You're fine. That's actually normal human function.
Just have water. Yeah. Like that's going to be enough.
I'm crying.
People are wild.
I actually think people just love a thing.
Yeah.
To spend money on, like a treat.
Yes.
What? Like, it's so crazy.
It's like I spend money on this, and so then it's doing its job.
Working.
It's like you kind of have to do a little extra.
Also, sometimes the free things do things.
Totally.
That's crazy.
Use your insurance. See a dietitian.
Literally. Okay, another hot button topic.
Yeah.
I have to ask you about GLP-1s.
Oh, yeah. Ask.
Can you tell me exactly what they are and also how they work?
Okay. Before you were like, people talk about things on the internet with conviction.
Yeah.
So one of my friends was like, oh my God, GLP-1s have snake venom in them.
Cool.
And I was like, what? And so she like has me like watch this video, and I was like, this is a smart person. I was like, girl. It's not snake venom. It's the venom from a lizard that we noticed might help with weight loss. And it was similar to semaglutide.
Like in chemical structure.
So then we were like, we're going to see if we make something like this, if it's going to work.
Okay, so we're going to replicate something different.
Yes. And also, yes, many things in nature are medicinal, i.e. aloe.
Right.
Like, right? Cuts and burns, helps with the laxative. Like, what is happening right now? So there's that. GLP-1s, here it is, guys. If I'm 700 pounds and ate fast food my whole life and I'm 40 years old, my incidence of cancer or cardiovascular disease is very high. The way that we do bariatric surgery in this country, it's 2 surgeries. First, we do a gastric sleeve where we take the part of the stomach, it's called a fundus, and then you're going to malabsorb fat, but that's only going to get you maybe 150, maybe 200 pounds. Then we would have to do a Roux-en-Y, right, where we reroute the duodenum stump. We make the pouch of the stomach smaller.
Okay.
And then we have to do skin removal surgery. So why would I do that when I can just give you an injection where I can get 40 pounds off of you a month and then only just do 1 surgery?
And what is that one?
The skin surgery.
Removal?
Yeah, skin removal,
Wow.
right? So like that feels like good.
Yeah.
Also, people who have a lot of food noise and they are overweight and they can't help themselves, or they're binge eaters, like, yes, we need to use it. Or people who are type 1 diabetics and don't want to be on statins, but they're on the GLP-1 and then that is helping with our cardiovascular risk. Great. But like if I'm just wanting to lose 10 pounds, I'm not saying that it's not okay, but I'm also not saying that it is okay. Like, could you try, like,
have you tried exercising?
Have you tried to maybe actually change what you're doing? I think that's always my thing. Try, work with a dietitian. You don't have to work with us. There's many people. Go work with someone and try. If you feel like you have been trying forever and the noise is too much and all you think about is food and you can't get out of your own way, then like, yes, go do it.
Sure.
But if you're just like, I don't know, I don't want to do a lot of work and I just want to lose 10 pounds, like you can, but I don't know what
Those are the people I resent, honestly. And like, I'll say it loud because everyone's always, there's this debate of like, do you? And then everyone's like, but, and you can hear snark in their tone.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I resent people who feel too lazy to try anything and then do it. And then they're like prime models of their body looks like they have a disorder, right? They're like so skinny and you're like, it's just, and then there's like those of us who work really hard at the gym and we don't look like that. And I'm like, God damn it. It's like, but so tell me a little bit about the short-term effects and like health implications of a GLP-1. Like I have heard some people try it, they get really sick. Like,
yeah, because the drug that's what the drug's supposed to do.
It's an appetite suppressant?
It delays gastric emptying. So you feel full for longer. And so if you want the drug to actually work, if you want to get good outcomes, if you want to understand how not to gain 10 pounds when you come off of it, the studies, it just came out of the Mayo Clinic in October, working with a dietitian is going to enhance that. So then for all of those people that are like, hey, I don't have the bandwidth and I need like help. Okay, so work with someone and then they're gonna help you. Yeah, because that's what the drug does. And so if you're tracking your food, then we can say, oh, when you eat Doritos, then you feel worse and you throw up. So you probably shouldn't have the Doritos while we're on the drug.
Interesting. And then do we know anything about the long-term health implications of a GLP-1?
That's the thing, right? Everyone's like, GLP-1s have been out for a really long time. I'm like, yeah, they have at this lower dose that we give the diabetics.
Well, and I'm now hearing like they're making people blind. They're giving people cancer. What is all that?
Oh, I saw something the other day about that. Like somebody was blind. And here's the thing that I wonder about that. Where did that person get the drug? Because when you see these drugs out in the ether, I got on a stage actually to talk about this with the commercial product officer of Noom and the president of Omada, and Noom prescribes GLP-1s. And so this sales guy is on stage and he has his like canned response, which is like, oh, we know about the muscle mass and whatever. And then the woman, the moderator like looks at me and she's like, so would you refer your patients to Noom? I'm like, no, I wouldn't. Because Noom is doing compounded drugs and the active ingredient is semaglutide sodium and semaglutide acetate. These guys died. Like you could see the blood drain from their faces.
Saw ghosts.
Yeah. And I was like, and we didn't do trials on that. And I'm in the business of giving my patients safe and efficacious care. So I can't send my patient here. And so that, Sam, is the problem. And this is why there's fuckery all over the place, right?
I'm freaking the fuck out right now.
It's fucking nonsense. It's like, because there's a shortage, people can't afford it. So like, oh, I'm going to compound. And they're like, oh, we can do compounded drugs. Like, of course you can. You can 1,000% do compounded drugs, but we didn't do trials. So this is not safe. And so from our practice, what we see is that 50% of people come in on a compounded drug and they have all the side effects, but they do not have the benefits. But we have partners at different health systems, and then we get patients into care if they want to get into care. And then I know that they're on the drug that we we know. So when we hear like, oh, this person is blind, I'm like, this is probably a fucking compounded drug. It's probably not.
Why am I like riled up right now? I feel like patriotic or something. What is this?
Yes,
I'm like, I want to fight for my country.
Yes,
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, it's such nonsense. Because you're like, what is this?
How do we get here?
It's so bad because everyone is chasing thinness and richness above everything else.
And then here's the other thing that I will say aloud, which is that everyone's pro plus size except for their own body.
Right.
I support your curves and your body, but I don't want that for myself.
Wait. And you saying that is very profound because guess what? I don't want that for myself either. Guess what? I like the way I look.
That's okay.
I want to be thin. I want to be a certain weight. I like that. That's what's good for me. And if that's what's good for you, then I have to help support you in the safest way. And everybody stop selling the bullshit that like, oh, I don't care how I look. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. It doesn't mean that you have to be a size 0.
Yeah. And when I tell you, there are times when I'm like, I wish I had boobs. I wish I had a butt. Sure. I wish I had a little bit of something. Sure. And I'm never going to have that. It's just not my body type. I couldn't achieve it if I wanted to. Like my kind of curvy wouldn't be the kind of curvy that I'm seeking out.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm okay with like, I'm never going to have those things that I think I want. And that's it. But you will hear so many people do body positivity for everyone else. Mm-hmm. And then they're doing something behind the scenes that you don't know about be skinny.
I say this all the time. It's like, this person is so skinny. I have a neighbor, she lost so much weight. I was like, oh my God, you look so great. She was like, yeah, I did all this calorie counting and I made sure that the alcohol fit into my day. Or I know women who just, they don't eat because they want to drink. Like,
oh my God.
People are compromising and sacrificing all over the place. And
you don't know the intricacies of what everyone's doing. So you see this girl on the internet and she looks so like skinny or thick or whatever you want to look like. You see this girl look like that and you just hear what they tell you on the internet.
That's right.
And like I talk a lot about how social media is just the tip of the iceberg. And you know that graphic where it's like an iceberg, but then underneath it's so big under the water, what you can't see. And I did a stint in reality TV. And so that's how I talk about it is like, you see 45 minutes of my week once a week for 10 weeks.
Yep.
You don't know me. And it's the same with social media. And that's part of why I just really encourage people to think so critically about what they're consuming because it's very easy to get caught up in, I want to be like that person. Yes. Here's what they say they're doing. I'm going to believe them and trust them. And then I'm going to do it. And when I don't get the same results, guess what that turns into? A disorder.
That's right.
And then that person is suffering because of a vision and a lie that you sold them. And that's really scary. And it's something that like, I genuinely am happy for you if you're doing anything for yourself, but I really advocate for transparency in it. Yeah. You got a boob job, happy for you. Yes. Love the way your boobs look, so happy for you, queen. Like you want to lose a bunch of weight, you're happy, I'm happy because you're happy.
Just tell the truth.
You want to gain a bunch of weight, you're happy, I'm happy. Girl. But I want to hear about it because I do really fear that like we have responsibility in this world. Yes. And there are things we don't owe people and there are things we owe people. But like if you are talking about this topic, I think we owe it to people to tell the whole story of the topic.
Tell the whole story. People look at me and they're like, your skin looks so good. I'm like, Rachel Rubin, 1040 Park Avenue.
Yeah, you go, here's the link to her sign up.
She's amazing. And also, by the way, she has had a nose job. She has had a boob job. She'll tell you all the things she does. And she looks amazing. And she looks amazing. She's beautiful. I love that so I'm like, I want to look like her. And she tells you the truth. And like, this is what I'm looking for. Just tell the truth. Yeah. Just tell the truth.
And I think it's such a beautiful and empowering thing because it's like, there are going to be people who shame you either way. There are going to be people who love you either way.
No one's happy.
And this is advice I got from a producer when I was in reality TV that I think applies to everything, which is, he said, people are going to love you either way and people are going to hate you either way, but you'd rather be loved and hated for being yourself than be loved and hated for being a total fucking fraud.
That's right.
And I looked him dead in the eye and I said, that is the most badass advice I've ever heard, because at the end of the day, if someone's like bumming on my character or something,
jealous,
like whatever it is, fine. At least I was true to myself.
That's right.
I can always have that and be like, I was completely honest in myself and I will never regret it. But I'll tell you what I would regret is pretending to be someone I was not and then still getting the shit that I was trying to avoid.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So Okay, well, while we're on the topic of like the drugs and the foods and the testing and stuff, and then we're almost done here because I've kept you forever.
No, I love it.
I know, so all of us, and I'm so sorry,
No, it's
Destiny.
okay. I just have Kendrick Lamar and SZA later with the children.
No, you're the coolest mom ever.
And their friends.
No Juice and SZA and Kendrick.
Exactly. I make it up on the back end, guys.
You sure
you're good. You.
I will forgive you before you even apologize.
Exactly.
So you've brought up a couple of times this like GI map, this Dutch testing, whatever. It's trendy. It's expensive. I feel inclined to buy it every time it comes up on my Explore page. What's up? You don't like them?
No. Just go to the Yevgenia Pashinsky. New York Gastroenterology Associates.
I love you plugging everyone.
Let me tell you.
I'm here for your people.
I'm here for my people. And she is everything for me. I love her. And you can't tell me any different. And if she, she'll see you and then she'll be like, oh, your shit's so fucked up. You got to go see my partner. Yeah. Cool. She's like, did you send me this patient that did all these tests? Girl, you know how I feel. Send them to somebody else. Send them to some other like functional GI doctor. Oh my girl, this person needs help. Yeah. Help this
Be serious
person.
with this person.
You know what she does before she even touches your body?
What?
You get escorted to her office. You sit across from her. I was there yesterday. This is my friend. Like she and I are friends. And she is also partly responsible for saving my life. But like literally, they, okay, Vanessa, I was there for an appointment and you sit across from her for like 40 minutes. And then she goes and touches your body.
And what do you talk about in the 40 minutes?
What are you doing? What does your poop look like? Tell me, like, show me your stomach.
She knows your life.
How are you eating? Why are you doing that? This is what is this? And, like, she's like, get the fuck off this magnesium train. Wow. Like, what is happening? Like, but it's
people need to hear it.
Yeah. She's like, I'm like, it's good for you. She's like, girl, not in those amounts. Enough. Like, I'm sending you this, right? So that is what you need. You need to find doctors like that are going to take the time and know what they're doing and not going to pass you off and tell you that you have IBS. By the way, I know that they say 90% of people in America have IBS. It's bullshit. We have bad gastroenterologists that aren't doing their job.
Right. We can't fix it.
So
the reason we still have it is because we can't fix it.
Or like,
you can have temporary constipation and it can get fixed. Correct. But like if we don't fix it, then it's IBS.
Right. Or the people that come to me, they're like, I have SIBO and I have chronic SIBO and I've been on low FODMAP for 5 years. And I'm like, and then I say to them, well, why do you have the SIBO? And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, do you have slow motility? Do you have H. pylori? And like, they're like, wait,
what are you talking about?
What are the words?
You're like, I have SIBO.
I'm like, guys, you need to go to somebody else. Like this is.
You actually need to go backwards before you come back to me.
Right.
Ask 3 before me.
That's right. And so that's the problem, right? You're like at your wit's end. Nobody's spending time with you. And so then you go pay for this Dutch test or this GI mapping. And then they're like, okay, buy these supplements. And it's like, why do I still feel like shit?
Totally.
Because you didn't get to the root cause.
Totally. Which is ironic because you are actually buying these tests mostly because you're seeking the root cause.
Yeah.
But it's actually, that's not going to be the thing that does it.
That's not it. You guys, you don't have to come see anyone at Culina Health, but if you need a good doctor, you can just send me an email.
Vanessa, I'm actually coming over later.
Come over.
After Kendrick.
Yeah, Vanessa at culinahealth.com and I will tell you the doctor to go to.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Because that is a mistake we make is, I think too, it's not even our fault. It's really the system. It's like,
yes,
in the medical system, in the healthcare system as it stands, we're a Band-Aid economy, not a solution economy. That is where a lot of us start to lose faith in it, right? Yep. And I've been there and I've talked about it on here and people tell me all the time. So then you go see your functional doctor, your holistic doctor, whatever. You have a conversation. Half the time they ask you about your symptoms and don't actually like physically see your symptoms with their eyes or like, for example, I have like an inflamed scalp and I've been trying to solve it. And when I go to my medical doctors, they give me a steroid, which I don't really want because it works for 2 weeks and then it's worse after.
Sure.
So I go to my functional medicine doctor who never looks at my scalp before.
Did you get a scalp biopsy?
Never even heard of it.
Oh, for love.
But that's what I'm saying.
I'm going to send you to the
doctor. Doesn't look at my scalp, doesn't touch my scalp, doesn't see it, takes my word for my symptoms, and then I get probably like $500 or $600 of supplements. And for a while, I'm like, I feel great. This is amazing. Placebo, because 3 months later, I'm not feeling different. And then one thing that did help was I was eating super clean for a while, but I was actually doing that to get like snatched before vacation. Sure. It was unrelated.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, note to self, when I eat ultra-processed foods, there's less inflammation everywhere.
Sure.
Makes sense.
Sure.
Tracks. But like now I'm here fucking destroying my scalp again and it's not better and it's been years and not a single person. So you go and you think you're doing the right thing because you lose faith in traditional healthcare. So you go to alternative medicine. And then sometimes even the alternative medicine's not helping. And then you walk in here and say 2 words I've never heard in conjunction. And you're like, I got you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, what? No one took a piece from your scalp and tested it?
Girl, when I tell you no one's even looked at my scalp. 2 different health, like medical professionals and a functional doctor.
I'm so horrified.
But like, this is why.
But not
surprised. And that's the sad part.
And that is the sad part. Yeah.
And like, I actually really liked my functional medicine person. He had a lot of really interesting information that I thought was helpful for me in my like eating endeavors and my lifestyle endeavors. But like I went to solve a problem and the problem has not been addressed. And so it is a very chicken or egg, right? Like you either lose faith in the system and then you go seeking something and realize like no one has this solution and no one wants to help you.
Yeah.
Or you realize no one wants to help you. Like, it's like it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
But that's really interesting, also, especially about the testing, because that's what after not finding my solution in functional medicine was like, I could either go to a bunch of expensive other doctors, none of whom take my insurance. No. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll just do the GI and Dutch and I'll figure it out myself. But that's also not going to do it.
No, you're going to get someone to take a piece of your scalp and they're going to send it to the lab and they're going to be like, this is what's going on in your scalp.
Why doesn't everyone do that,
I have
Vanessa?
no idea. It's so bizarre to me.
Doesn't seem like an easy.
It's so infuriating. Like, what is everyone's fucking problem? Like, this girl is telling you that her scalp is itching her for many years, and you've done all of these things and nothing works. You don't think to take a sample?
You don't look at it? How about you don't look at it with your eyes?
Yeah, you don't even look at it.
No one is looking at it.
Because I'm looking at your beautiful hair and it doesn't seem like flaky or whatever. So they're like, oh,
you seem fine.
You're fine.
And then they just believe me. And like, I'm accurate about my symptoms because I document them pretty seriously. But like, you're just like taking my word for it. Like, what if I didn't have any of that? Then I'm what? Like, right?
Like maybe, I guess. And we gave you a steroid and it didn't work. Okay.
No, it worked and then it got worse when I went off the steroid.
Right. So then it's like, okay, there are different steroids we can put into the scalp to help you, but we need to understand what is going on
in order for that to work at all. Yeah, no, this is why I need you here. I love having you here.
Girl, I'm going to send you to, I got you.
I love you.
Yeah, I got you, boo. That's not it.
It's not.
We have to keep this beautiful hair on your head and we need to not be miserable.
Thank you. Because the hair is actually like most of my personality.
It's beautiful. I love it. Yes. Yeah.
So I'm going to let you go because you have to go see Kendrick Lamar. Yeah. But looking at the future, because we've now seen the explosion of popularity in these conversations around the seed oils, around the GLP-1s, around the like ultra processed foods, like what do you anticipate being the next mainstream conversation we have? Or alternatively, if you don't want to predict one that like we might have coming, what would you like to see being the mainstream conversation?
Well, everyone is, high on AI.
Sure.
And
nightmare.
And how it's going to just like revolutionize healthcare.
Either revolutionize healthcare or kill us all.
Ruin it. One or the other. I'm like, you can't get the human out. So I guess like people, I think that's what I want people to know. Like, don't try to cancel out the human. Go you can talk to a dietitian. Like dietitians are really well trained and they have a lot of knowledge about getting you care because they've seen a lot of things. They are really part of the interdisciplinary team. So go see one of them and they're going to hopefully point you in the right direction. Don't be afraid to ask the questions. Advocate for yourself.
The number of people in my life I know who have diagnosed themselves when their healthcare provider wouldn't or couldn't, quote unquote. My mom is the one who diagnosed herself with cancer when she had it the second time. At that point, you think the doctors are eager to test when my mom goes in and says, I think I have cancer again. No, her female woman doctor looked her dead in the eye and said, you probably are just like paranoid because you had cancer once.
Wow.
And my mom literally diagnosed herself with her second bout of cervical cancer from a swollen ankle because she figured out there was a blood clot that was related back to the cancer. So and her woman doctor looked her in the eye and said, I think you're crazy. And my mom was like, I'm going to go for a second a minute. And she did. And she had cancer.
Yeah. I mean, I knew I had cancer. I told everyone I had cancer.
Really?
I had pervasive itching. It wouldn't go away. I had a bunch of mammograms. They were like, no, it's eczema. And then finally I was like, nope. And then I went in and they were like, oh, there are calcifications. and you have to wait. This is at the end of May of 2023, and you have to wait until July 13th. That was my first round of chemo. You'll have to wait till July 13th to get a biopsy. And I was like,
sorry, what?
I was like, ha ha ha. So Evgenia Bashinsky, I was like, girl, you better call your friend that runs this suite, and I'm getting in. She's like, okay, yeah, hold on. Then they called me and they were like, come in. So the guy that was like,
that's insane.
See you, July 13th. I walk in and
he checks your ass in 2 days later.
He's doing the biopsy and he's like, and then he goes, because it was Memorial Day weekend. He was like, no one's going to call you until Tuesday. I was like, that's not it.
You're like, doubt it.
The head of the suite, Barry Burson, called me on Friday on his cell phone. And he was like, yo, girl, there's a malignancy here. I called Pashinsky. I called your OB. He held up a plane and he told me to make you an appointment with Christina Wells. So you have an appointment on June 2nd and they're going to call you to book that. But you know why I got all that?
Because you asked for it.
And I have friends.
Yeah.
And so from the time I got diagnosed to my surgery was 3 weeks, would have been 2 weeks, but they thought that they found something on the right. So, and there was no place in the city to get this specific diagnostic biopsy. So I had to wait. And it is because I have friends. And these doctors, like, I love them. I love my surgeon. I love my oncologist, but I got pushed through faster than anybody else because of who I know.
Well, I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Because that is literally it's a life or death situation.
Yes.
So when it matters.
Yeah. So you have to advocate for yourself. Remember, doctors are just practicing medicine. They don't know everything. They're not the end all be all. You can have dialogue with them,
Yeah. That's so important.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you the last question that I ask every single person who comes on the podcast.
Okay.
And it ties back to the theme of the show, which is to help people live like their most fulfilled lives for as long as possible. Their best health, their best fulfillment. So if you could pick a word and everywhere you went, it was floating above your head in all caps, in caps lock, if you will. What's your word?
Word.
Or it could be a phrase. I've heard of phrases.
Phrase. It all works out.
That's beautiful.
It all works out.
You want to elaborate?
Everything works out. Like I said earlier, your life can change in a minute. When I'll tell the story and then we'll be done. I, in college, had a boyfriend and he was like, my soul saw his soul and he was the love of my life. And then we broke up. And I would think about him sometimes and I would get really sad. Like, oh, what if he like died and I didn't even like know about it? And then I saw him for a coffee, got diagnosed with cancer, and then changed my life. And now we are together.
Shut up.
Yep. So
shut up.
Whatever is meant for you will happen for you. You can't fuck anything up. And it always works out. So if it's supposed to be, it's just going to be. You don't have to force a single thing.
That is the best advice to just kick off the weekend.
Yeah. Just it's going to happen. Whatever's going to happen for you is going to happen for you. And if it doesn't happen for you, then it wasn't meant for you. And that's okay. Don't force it. Just leave it.
That's amazing.
Just leave it.
Vanessa, thank you so much. I had so much fun. Yeah, no, we're gonna be.
Okay,
I'm calling you tomorrow.
Yeah,
not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday.
No, but like I'm getting you a biopsy. That's ridiculous.
Okay, but I'm just gonna call you to hang out.
Yes, we can hang out. But like also I'm taking you like hand in hand and like getting this done for you.
We have the same energy. I really can feel it in here. June 5th. I'm a Gemini. What about you?
I'm November 20th. I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, that's why. Yeah,
Do you love us?
Scorpios.
Yeah, I also am a big fan of Gemini. So
we are the equal amount of crazy.
Yes, it's good. It's very good.
This is so good. I can't wait. We're gonna have to do this again.
Yes, let's do it.
I would love to bring you in on some of our live activations we've got coming up.
To do
a panel or like something.
Bring it.
Great.
Bring it. I love that.
Energy is perfect.
I
for
love
it.
this.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Love you guys. Talk soon.
Oh my God, you're the best.
No, you're literally the best.
Girl.